Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the last edition with NXT being worthwhile watching. Because after today, after this week, it's going to be the equivalent of a child vomiting after eating too many sweets. It would look like Skittles.
I got the birthday boy.
I was just giving. I was just like doing last rites to NXT.
I'll give you the last rites in a minute. Yeet.
Yeah. So basically, from next week, it's going to look like Skittles and
Taste the rainbow.
yeah, and
Don't touch it though, because Vince might get upset.
Also doesn't have a champion anymore. You know, stuff like that.
I smell a tournament.
Ugh, keep it to yourself. Yeah, we might as well touch upon the facts of our lick out of nowhere boy here. You may have heard Aaron say it before, so you might as well do it now, seeing as he's going to insist on being involved. I believe it's someone's birthday.
Happy birthday to Dick. Happy birthday to Dick. Happy birthday, dear Dickhead.
That's what you get for calling him a dickhead.
Happy birthday to you. Yes, he's 1 year old today. It is his first birthday.
Ah.
And he's still a dick.
Well, he's one. That's what you expect.
He's had a haircut.
He looks lighter.
Yeah. Pity they couldn't take a little bit more off the top.
Ow. Well, they still like licking your face, though. You might want to stop eating Wotsits.
I don't touch Wotsits. He touches his own.
Uh-huh. Yeah, speaking of fun things that have happened, there's a couple of things that we're going to touch upon. Both involve things that Aaron's been doing. So the reason there wasn't a show yesterday is because Aaron was busy doing a live event online.
Yeah.
Which is part of what he does over on the Twitch. And he naturally has them too.
Yeah, especially this kind.
That looked more like a stroke, so you might want to be careful.
Don't know.
Better. So, yes, he was doing an online event thing, which basically would have clashed where we would have had the show yesterday. That's why it's today instead. So.
And it was a last minute time announcement, so I didn't have much of a choice.
Well, he did, but you know, he big leagued us is what it was. So.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I admire the honesty.
I mean, I'd put so much work into the season. I needed to do the live event as well.
Yeah, Aaron knows I'm joking because he knows I don't mind him doing this stuff because it's part of what he has to do for the charities and everything. So I'd much rather he does the things which help the charities because ultimately we can always just do this a day later if we need to.
Yep.
So not a problem. It's just fun to bust his chops for it in a joke way.
I'm used to having my chops busted anyway. You of all people know that.
Oh yeah, and of course the hair is more green than it has been before. But of course on Saturday you did something else, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Because I saw you.
Wait, what?
Social media, mate.
Oh, we saw the
pride. Also, a friend of mine was there. So.
Oh. Was he at the after party?
No, she was just there for some of it.
Oh, good.
So yeah, so you might want to tell people where you actually was Saturday, so it doesn't sound like it's something weird because it isn't. This is actually something that's really worthwhile.
Saturday, I was at Canterbury Pride, living my best life, showing my true colours.
Oh, exactly.
And no, I was fully clothed, unlike
Some of the people.
The people, yeah.
Yeah. Also, he's not Phil Collins
Yeah,
for anyone who's of a certain age.
Yeah.
Or Cyndi Lauper for others.
On a guy before, but it was a new experience.
Oh, I sometimes forget how young you are because I've seen much more weirder shit than that.
No, I don't. I've seen weirder shit than it, but I've never seen a chastity belt in person before.
Well, there you go. Now you have.
Yeah. Bucket list. Tick.
Did you try it on?
No.
No.
I wasn't brave enough to ask to.
There's two reasons why you shouldn't have done. One, we're still in a pandemic. And two, yeah, that means you've then got to see what the other person looks like without it on.
And I'm in a committed relationship.
Bruce doesn't count as a committed relationship.
No, I'm talking about my partner.
As I said, Bruce doesn't count as a committed relationship.
Okay.
This is the show where we bust people's chops. Yeah. For anyone who is wondering, yes, Aaron is in an actual relationship with a real living person, not someone he's made up, not a blow-up doll or anything like that. Before anyone comes up with that idea,
Not my right hand.
or the left one.
No.
So yeah, an actual real living, breathing human.
That's actually put up with me for 21 years before we actually got together, so that says a lot too.
Also not his mother, just to be very clear. Because you live on Sheppey, so we have to be clear about such things. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong on so many levels, but right on about two.
Yeah, there you go. It's what matters.
I live with my mum and I care for my mum, hence caring with colours. It's not just a charity thing, I'm a carer as well.
No, my point was more that Sheppey is known in the UK for certain things.
Incest.
Yeah. So I wasn't implying anything with you guys, but that's why I wanted to be clear about that.
That's before my time anyway, and yeah.
I meant the island in general, but yeah.
Bruce, get down.
Bruce showing his butt to the internet, that's nothing new there, is it?
You miss butt-having.
Well, there you go. We will touch upon this now, because obviously this happened after all this week's wrestling. This was announced literally like a day or so ago. NXT no longer has a champion. Samoa Joe vacated the belt.
Yeah. Because he's injured.
Because he used to work for TNA. And most of those TNA people now work for AEW, so he's probably the black sheep, I'm guessing.
I called where Adam Cole would go, and I was right.
Well, if he weren't going to stay, then yeah, that was pretty much the only place he was going.
Yeah, but I called what storyline to be a part of.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't care about Adam Cole because I think he's a useless piece of shit. But there you go.
Yeah.
As a wrestler, don't know what he's like in real life. In real life, he's probably a really nice guy. But as a wrestler, I can't stand him.
He's a gamer, to be honest. So.
Well, I find him a lazy wrestler. So, for several reasons, but yeah, a lot of people know Adam Cole because obviously he does the Twitch stuff as well, which WWE had an issue with, but tough apparently. So there you go, really.
So
yeah,
probably start on Raw, shouldn't we?
Yeah, just thought we should mention the Samoa Joe thing next. Obviously, this didn't happen during the week's actual wrestling show. There's no point doing it next week because it's old news by that point. Because we'll probably have some sort of answer to what's going to happen.
Yeah, so get well soon, Joe.
Yeah.
But he said he will be back for whoever holds the title, so we might have a 4-time champion that when that happens. Maybe, maybe not.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing him challenge Dexter Lumis. Anyway.
Commentary.
Sorry?
You can always go back to current commentary in the meantime.
No, please no.
And put him on Raw with Cole and Corey.
No. Also, there's a draft coming up soon, so I think a bunch of people can get moved around.
Someone's left the door open somewhere.
Yeah, which it's open to everyone apart from people in WWE because apparently it's forbidden.
Yep.
Anyway, yes, as Aaron pointed out, yes, the first show we will start with will be Raw when we get to it. But most of Raw was taken up by one particular thing anyway.
Yeah, I said last week that there was a Battle Royal announced, which ended up being turned into a 7-pack challenge, tag team edition, which ended up being an 8-pack challenge, split into 2 halves.
Yeah, I will. The rumor is for this, and I don't know if it's true or not. This was a direct retaliation to the pay-per-view that happened on Sunday.
Yeah,
the cage match. So, for those of you unaware, there was an AEW pay-per-view on the Sunday before, and there was a cage match, which ended up being the best, widely regarded as the best match on the show. And apparently, this is why this happened here.
Yeah, the best match of the show, best by far, in my opinion.
Wasn't mine, but this isn't an AEW show, so
yeah.
I have my own preference. I understand why people like it though, but I don't like overly spot heavy matches, and that was a far too heavy spot match.
In all fairness, I couldn't agree with you on like a certain stance, but I think for me it was just refreshing to see a match of that kind of caliber, that kind of length in the tag team division, when WWE's tag team division is pretty stale.
I can understand that because unlike yourself, I'm used to watching more than just WWE. So to me, I judge it slightly differently. But from your point of view, I can see it. Yeah, okay, I can understand that because other promotions treat tag team wrestling much more seriously than WWE do.
Yeah, they don't have makeshift tag teams all the time.
Mainly because Vince hates tag team wrestling. It's a common known fact.
So Raw started off with RK Bro coming out. We had a recap of the main event last week. Randy Orton did a good promo. And it was basically who's next, and we got interrupted. They got interrupted by MVP and Bobby Lashley.
Not Goldberg, surprisingly.
Yeah, Lashley challenged Orton to a match at Extreme Rules, which should be interesting.
Which at present time is a thing. That match has been made. We'll see if that sticks or not.
I hope it does, because it's been 15 years since these two actually faced off in a WWE ring. So I'm all for it, but at the same time,
no, that's right. Go on.
At the same time, it's kind of like it feels like a throwaway match, and it shouldn't be.
Yeah,
the tag title, so they're not going to give him the WWE Championship as well.
I've heard differently. Apparently, there's a strong contingent of people who are backing Orton to win the match.
Yeah, I mean, I'm backing him as well, but I don't think.
I mean, in WWE, as in creative.
Yeah.
So we will see.
Feud between Orton and Riddle, because Riddle will get jealous or something.
Orton and Goldberg. Goldberg will come back for his 711th match of the year or something.
Yeah.
In the glorious kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Orton accepted Bobby's challenge for the WWE Championship, but said he wanted the WWE Championship. And then Lashley said he's going to go in the back and ask Sonya and Adam Pearce for a match, for a spot in the 7-pack challenge, which then became an 8-pack challenge because obviously Adam and Sonya said yes.
Right. So why didn't Adam and Sonya have to make the title match at the pay-per-view an official thing then?
I don't know.
Is my first response to that, because you've just in that sentence right there, you've just said apparently they can make a match, but then have to go and ask permission to make another match.
Yeah, basically.
It's a bit dumb. Be consistent, please, WWE. That's bad.
So after this entire segment, which took about 20 minutes of the start of the show, we had the kickoff of the 8-pack challenge or whatever it is.
I was going to say, I would say this opening segment was 10 minutes too long out of 20.
Yeah, agreed.
Because it did not need to be that long to establish what they wanted to do.
No. But I will say this, the first half of the tag team turmoil match was actually really good. And I enjoyed it. We had the New Day versus the Viking Raiders. Like, a great match. To be honest, no surprise, but like the win for the New Day, I was kind of surprised over because the Viking Raiders seem to be getting more screen time lately.
Well, also Kofi back to doing tag matches as well.
Yeah. Then we had New Day versus Jinder and Veer, which was a quick match.
Of course it was.
Bit of a boring match, to be honest, and New Day won through a small package of Xavier Woods.
Well, they should have won, let's be honest.
Yeah, they are a tag team after all. Next one was New Day versus Lucha House Party. Now, this was like fast paced. This was good.
With these four, you'd expect this kind of a match from them.
Yeah. It was a good like high flying segment as well. It kind of took away from the previous two matches because obviously strong mat game from the Viking Raiders. You got the power with Veer and Jinder. So to have like this breath of fresh, fast-paced action with the Lucha side versus the high-flying Kofi Kingston and the powerhouse Xavier Woods, it was a good match. Wouldn't be like opposed to seeing these two fight it out again.
Yeah, this is the kind of thing you need from these sort of like a gauntlet sort of thing, which is essentially what this was. You need the matches to have variations to them. You can't have them all being power, or all technical. You need to mix it up like this.
And you don't want like underdogs all the way through, because like the first one you would have said like possibly that Viking Raiders might have the edge. So the New Days for the first match were the underdog in that situation, and they came through. Second one, Jinder and Veer, you knew that the New Day was probably going to win because experience.
Well, that's what the Advanced New Day has on all those teams. Is they've been together much longer and they've won more titles together.
Yeah. And then match 4, we had New Day versus Mason T-Bar. Great match.
Not Retribution.
No, not Retribution. But
this is where it goes downhill, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how long Mason T-Bar are going to be suspended for after what they did for this match, but they'll probably be out of action for a couple of weeks, so we won't see them until they show back up.
It'll be an excuse to write them off a telly. That's all this is.
Yeah. They didn't only attack New Day, though. They attacked Mansoor and Ali when they came out for their part of this match. But New Day beat Mason T-Bar, so they was told that the match was going to continue later with the addition of Lashley and MVP. So that left 4 teams, which was New Day, Mansoor, Ali, AJ Styles and Omos, and MVP and Bobby Lashley. And that continued later on.
Yeah, so basically this is half-time in the tag team turmoil match.
Basically, yeah. I mean, I like the way that they did this, like, because Mason T-Bar obviously heals. They used the talent, they used the story and the like creative that they built up for Mason T-Bar to turn this into like give the tag team a break a little bit. Let's make the show a little bit interesting.
The thing is, though, if you could book properly and tag team wrestling properly, and this is a thing for me, you could have had this go through the first hour and a half of the show, and nobody would have cared. They would have enjoyed it. But if you can't book properly, then you have to do something like this to cover up your your ineptitude and your weaknesses in tag team booking, because clearly they can't book tag team.
It's not only that, like, they've got the talent. It's just they don't have the confidence in the tag team division.
Yeah, it's the booking. It's not the wrestlers. This is this is purely booking.
So I mean, we both know that Kofi Kingston can run the gauntlet himself. Xavier's got the endurance as well. Like, there's no problem with them two running this. They could have done.
Well, Xavier Woods, before he was in WWE, was in TNA's Consequences Creed, and he used to do X Division matches, and those things are heavy endurance. If you can't go through those if you don't have any kind of endurance, and he does.
Yeah. So that then led us to a number one contendership match between McIntyre and Sheamus
for the US title. Let's be clear.
A great match too. No surprise. We've seen these two go at it plenty of times. I was surprised that Sheamus won, but not unhappy, to be honest.
I think it's better he won.
Yeah, I mean, the Priest promo was great and in character as well afterwards. Like, nothing, like, kind of like, that he wasn't scared about facing Sheamus again. He was confident. He was cocky,
and he shouldn't be. Yeah, and he shouldn't be. But I like I like Sheamus and McIntyre. So either one of them winning, I don't really have an issue with. But from a purely break up the monotony sort of thing, you don't want it being, oh, Drew's in this match, so Drew's going to win. It shouldn't be that way. There should be some sort of doubt. And having Sheamus win this match helps people think, okay, Drew's not a lock.
Yeah, also the way he won it as well doesn't hurt McIntyre either, because there was a little bit of foul play, but of course, Sheamus being heel, no one's surprised.
Yeah, it's fine if you're a heel. You can do that stuff. People expect that stuff from you. You're a heel.
And then we had the Nikki Ash and Rhea Ripley segment. The tag team name reeks of Vince McMahon.
Yeah, I have a bigger issue with the match than the actual name, though.
Are we going to say the name? Because it sounds stupid and makes me kind of...
No. Unless you really want to say it, then no.
It's...
basically, if you guys want to know, find it. It'll be on the internet somewhere.
It sounds super dumb, but I'll give you half the name. But then we had the tag team versus Tamina and Natalya. I found this.
Now, you missed something there. This is a championship contender match.
Yeah, I was just about to say you. It's funny how they're having another championship contenders match on Raw when Shotzi and Tegan Nox still haven't had their chance at the championships themselves.
And they've had two of them.
Yeah, and they were on SmackDown this week, just in a segment with Paul Heyman. Completely in the back, no action at all.
Apart from trying to get Heyman to ride the tank.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, would have been funny if he'd done it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's why I wanted to mention the contender thing, because this is clearly a case of it doesn't matter.
Yeah, this match was kind of...
And it's a shame. It's a shame because the talent involved in this match are all decent talent.
Yeah, three previous Raw Women's Champions. Natalya. Tamina's contended for many championships in her career too. Like, she hasn't won a WWE championship yet, but she's had plenty of opportunities and plenty of good matches.
I mean, Tamina's not the best, but she's decent and she can hold up a good match with people. So they've all four of these wrestlers have the ability to put on a really good match, but
I will say this though: out of all the women that were on the WWE shows this week, uh, Nikki Cross was the only one wearing a band to memorialize the late Daphne that passed away this week.
I think they knew each other, which is why that was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Daphne, he was in TNA for a while and also was WCW originally. So there's a few people who would be familiar with her.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, no longer with us due to it's one of those subjects where the internet gets a bit weird about it. So
there's not.
I think I had to explain this.
I actually know.
And
if you want to know, go
basically, if you want to make sure nobody else goes through what she did, Samaritans. That's pretty much your clue.
Yeah.
And that's how I can tell you without actually saying what it was.
Mm-hmm. Then we had Moist TV. I mean, this was actually a funny segment, and for Karrion Kross to be in a segment and for somebody to say it was funny at the same time should tell you everything you need to know.
I find the idea of Karrion Kross in that gimp suit on a show called Moist kind of amusing and all on its own.
Yeah, he wasn't in the gimp suit, unfortunately, but it was funny.
I know he was wearing an actual suit. I know.
Awkwardest of ways.
Yeah, he shouldn't be doing these segments, not being funny. If you are going to have him do them, this is what you need Scarlett for.
Yeah.
So,
and then
and the fact, obviously, wrestling, because Scarlett Bordeaux needs to wrestle. There you
go. Yeah. And then we had this. This led to a match, but to be honest, this segment was better than Miz TV again. Like Miz TV's been this year.
Well, that's not difficult. I mean, not being funny. Me alone talking to the wall is better than Miz TV. So
you still haven't had Miz versus Morrison.
Yeah.
So Morrison versus Karrion Kross. Morrison messed up big time when he dripsticked Karrion. Let's face it, it was all downhill from there.
Especially when you're wrestling in that kind of ring attire. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so for people who hadn't guessed already, Karrion Kross won this match.
Yes, he did.
And then we had a Nia Jax segment, which was typical. Nia Jax for about a minute and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had face with, I mean, like, Nia's has this like face with a mix of heel, like kind of attitude right now. Are they trying to put her over? I don't know.
Yeah, I think they're trying to put her over.
I mean, she's reeking confidence, but she's still being heelish at the same time. I'm really not sure if putting her over is the best idea. She either needs to be full heel or full face. And where she is right now, she's on the border.
The thing is, you can make her confident and have her be a heel. There's a way of doing it, but this isn't it.
Mm-mm. I think there's a bit of, I think WWE are confused as to where they want Nia to go with this.
If you want to see a wrestler who can do the confident thing and be a heel, Sasha,
Becky,
Bayley, Charlotte. I don't include Becky. We'll get to that later.
Yeah, because the fans love her too.
Yeah, I mean it's not Becky's fault because Becky clearly doesn't. Becky's great. I like Becky, but I think Becky has a hard time trying to manipulate the fans to hate her.
Mm-hmm.
Certain wrestlers can just make people just click on and off. If you between the two, if you want a good example, Eddie Guerrero.
Yep. But,
just like that, easy. But very few wrestlers can actually do it. It's very hard.
So then we had a Raw Women's Championship match in a mid-card segment on a show that is based upon wrestling for championships.
And they also tried to play off the fact they had a real shoot thing last week in this match.
Yeah.
All things which really go well together.
Yeah. I mean, we had Shayna Baszler cost Nia the Raw Women's Championship in a nutshell.
Good.
So
it's my only response to that is good.
I mean, I think we can say bye-bye to the women as a tag team, hopefully, but it was it was a great match between Charlotte and Nia up until like what happened.
You do realise that Nia and Baszler have split like 3 times already.
Yeah, but there's never been an official split. They've had an argument. They've got back together. Like there's not been anything. They're like an old married couple that just won't stay split.
Maybe the sex is good. I don't know.
Doesn't know. The money must be.
I don't know.
I mean, I saw the Alexa thing come in after the match as well.
So did everybody. But to be fair to WWE on this one, they had already made a point of telling us that Alexa was going to be a contender to Charlotte.
Yeah.
They just happened to have left it a couple of weeks before they brought it back round.
And Charlotte's turned round and said that she wants to face Alexa at Extreme Rules.
You know, when she said, do you know the funny part is when she said that, I thought she was going to turn around and say, I want to face Lily. That's how little confidence I have in the way they book this shit.
It would be funny if Charlotte said, the stipulation I want is Lily suspended from the top of the arena in a box. And if I win, the box sets on fire or something.
Lily on a pole match.
It wouldn't be the worst idea.
No, it's not. And it's something I could see them doing, which is the thing.
Or like Charlotte gets hold of Lily and rips part of her off, like a leg or a part of her hair. I have Lily's hair.
Because the winking.
Yeah. She's like Lily's eye on a pole match or something.
Well, the thing is as well, with the pay-per-view being Extreme Rules, you can have weird gimmick matches on there. And this is the sort of pay-per-view where you can do something like this and involve Lily. Because it's fine for this, because the kind of pay-per-view it is.
Yeah, I mean, if you look back in previous matches, there's been plenty of pole matches where we've had some weird things on poles. I mean, Yotsu Toshi, I think his name was, a Japanese wrestler who was with WWE back in the early 2000s. He had an action figure, and one of the heels broke his action figure and took the leg as a prize, and then they had a action figure leg on a pole match the following week.
I think the wrestler you're referring to is Yoshitatsu.
Yeah, I just remembered his name as I said about the match.
Yeah. Also, FYI, Viagra on a pole.
Yep.
Judy Bagwell on a forklift.
Yep.
And if people think I'm making these up, I'm not. You can check them out on the network.
And
those are the bad ones.
The Yoshitatsu one wasn't exactly great either.
No. And yeah. Oh, Cost and Silver Dollar match where they put the silver dollars in a sock like they do and put it on top of the pole. Sounds not too bad, right? The pole was about 3 feet taller than a normal pole would be for these kind of matches. And the people in the match were a 300-pounder and a 400-pounder. And we're talking big, bulky, not the athletic kind of those guys. Yeah. How are they climbing the pole?
Kind of guys.
Yeah. How are they climbing the pole?
I hope it wasn't greased.
Well, I don't mind spoiling this because I don't think anyone should ever go back and watch this match. The smaller of the two had a manager, and the manager climbed the pole,
Of course he did.
which is actually smart at least, because at least they thought about it. But the better trick they did later on was because the manager didn't manage to get to the actual thing in the end. The bigger wrestler, the 400-pounder, actually got the sock down, and how he did it was he cut the things holding the pole to the ring and just lowered the pole down. At least that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
But it's still not a good idea having a thing like that with two guys that size. It don't work.
No, it really doesn't.
But yeah.
Speaking of things that doesn't work,
yes.
we had a 24/7 championship match. An actual match, not a walk through a park this week.
Yeah, this is why I gave you this as a segue, because I figured this would help.
We had Reggie versus Akira Tozawa. I mean, thankfully, we finally had a match. We didn't have a walk through a park. We didn't have Tozawa in a doggy costume. We had an actual match in the fucking ring.
I would say, in all fairness to Reggie, though, Reggie has actually had 24/7 title matches in ring before. In fact, he's probably had the most out of any of them.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's just like we're getting back to normal television. Thank you.
Yeah.
We don't want to revisit the same park 3 weeks in a row.
Well, maybe some people do, but that's a different thing.
Yeah, and that's a different charity.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Tozawa, like, a great match as well. Tozawa being the former cruiserweight champion too. Like, it was fast. And
Tozawa's another guy who's talented but very underutilized.
Yeah, and used wrong.
Yeah.
But what the hell was Drake Maverick doing on Raw after this match was over? He's like NXT. Why is he back on Raw?
Because
it's just like if they'd have said brand invitational, I'd have understood, but there was no mention of that. And he didn't even go for Reggie. He just stood there on stage, looked at him as he walked away.
Maybe he needed to piss. They needed somebody to piss their pants.
I don't know.
I don't think anyone else does either. I think that's kind of the problem.
Then we had a Piper Niven segment. It was okay, but the writing really fucking sucked.
Yeah.
And then we had the second half of the tag team turmoil match, which was New Day versus Mansoor and Ali. One Trouble in Paradise later, and New Day won.
I would point out, by the way, I think the gap between the two halves of the turmoil match was too long. It's too much of a gap.
Yeah, I think they should have just had Reggie versus Akira Tozawa and the Nikki and Rhea match and the Drew versus Sheamus match. That would have been fine. Put the Raw Women's Championship match as the main event and continue this match. Then after this match, have Morrison versus Karrion Kross, and then the Raw Women's Championship match.
Yeah, not the worst idea. I mean, the matches were bad, but at least it makes more sense as a layout than what we got.
Yeah. So, yeah. One Trouble in Paradise later. Mansoor and Ali were knocked out. Then we had New Day versus AJ and Omos, which was basically a WrestleMania rematch that New Day wasn't going to get through because of what had happened previously with Mason T-Bar.
Well, to be fair, at this point, they had already gone through quite a few matches at this point.
Yeah. And Omos literally just put them out of their misery, and AJ got the cover.
Yeah.
Then we had an interesting one. We had AJ and Omos versus Lashley and MVP. the two freshest teams, the two last teams in this match as well. It was interesting, especially with Omos and Lashley squaring off.
I bet Vince got a fucking boner over that.
Yeah. But Lashley and MVP actually won, and we're getting a rematch next week. However, Omos did slam Lashley on the canvas, so 2 weeks in a row, Lashley was on his back in the middle of the ring at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Way to make the WWE champion look good.
Well, I'm guessing the logic here for Vince is one was Orton. Orton's an established, well, high-profile star. Okay, sure, I can at least understand that. Omos, because he's bigger. That will literally be the logic. As dumb as it is.
Sorry to interrupt. There's a massive spider up in your bedroom as well.
Oh, great.
Right in the corner by the fucking curtain.
I've got a spider in my room. I'll call it Bob.
You'll call it It's Getting Out.
You can call it Tom, Andrew. You can call it Tom, Andrew, or Toby.
Katie just said that you can call it It's Getting Out. And I was just like, no, Pride was last Saturday.
No, it's coming out. Different thing.
Ha, no.
Getting out, coming out, same difference.
Maybe it's trying to network, you know?
Yeah, probably on the web somewhere.
Yeah.
No.
We can do more dad. We can do more. We can do more dad jokes if you like.
Please don't.
There's a world wide web of them.
Oh my god.
I didn't say that.
I'll spin the other one. You was thinking it. So yeah, Raw overall, I'd say was about a 4 out of 10.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe 3, but
I think that's more likely to be honest. I think 4 was a bit generous in all honesty.
I was thinking more because of the tag team turmoil match. It was actually all right.
It would have been if it actually booked it properly. That's the thing with that.
That's why I kind of settled on a 3 because of the booking side of things. If they'd have ordered it differently, it would have been a 4, but 3's better.
Yeah.
About right. I
think so.
And talking about Riot, we should probably move on to NXT.
Skittles!
No, it's not Skittles yet. It's Gold Bar at the moment.
Gold Bar? Yeah, the last of the pre-recorded NXT shows.
It's better. It's not as good as Blackjack on a Thursday, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
We will.
So, this is another thing that's actually kind of like twisted my mind. They call NXT at the moment the Black and Gold brand. They call NXT UK the Red and Black brand. What are they going to call NXT now? Are they going to call it the Rainbow brand? Because that's gay.
It's not. It's all inclusive. You should know that.
The Rainbow brand sounds gay. And that's coming from a bisexual. I'm as straight as a roundabout. And Rainbow brands just screams gay to me.
Okay. I'll tell you what. Ask the person that's
screaming from the indies circuit. It's gay.
Ask the person that's with you what they think it sounds like.
What does the Rainbow brand sound like to you?
Skittles, fun.
It sounds like fun and Skittles.
Yeah.
Gay. It sounds tasty.
All inclusive.
All inclusive. If you're big and beefy.
The best bit about this is I don't have to make any of these jokes, and as a bisexual man, you can make those jokes in the modern society.
Bisexual as well, so come at me.
If I made those jokes, which I'm perfectly happy to do, people would take it wrong.
Mm.
But, you know, the world's stupid. What can I say? But yes, anyway, the Gold Bar brand, which is what it is right now, is where we are.
So we had Ember Moon versus Kaylee Ray to kick off the show.
Yeah.
Not a bad match, but look at the contenders.
It's like, gee, how can we not screw this up? I know.
I don't know if it was the right choice, to be honest. I mean, this was like a
start-
takeover-worthy match.
For starting for the show, no, I don't think it was. That's my honest
Yeah.
answer to that one. It should have been later in the show.
And another thing, commentary fucked up the finisher. They called it the KLR bomb. And even in NXT UK, it was known as the Gory Bomb because it was done by...
Oh, you on about the Gory special?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Guerreros. It's Eddie and Chavo Senior's dad. He invented that move.
Yeah, and
So,
it's
yeah.
always been known as the Gory Bomb.
Because he invented it, that's why.
Yeah. They called it the KLR bomb for some reason. And I was like, you're not going to change people's mind on that. It's always going to be the Gory Bomb. You ain't going to change it just because you're naming it something different.
Well, you've got to bear in mind, most finishers have a different name to them, despite the fact that they all have actual generic names in wrestling terms. I mean, look at the DDT, Future Shock. Is what Drew calls it.
DDT.
Right, but it's still just a DDT, right? The Paradigm Shift, that's just a DDT.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something people do with their moves, you know.
Mm-hmm. The same as the stunner, like Diamond Cutter.
They are actually different moves, weirdly enough, because of how they're executed, but the effect's the same.
Well, cutters.
But the RKO and the Diamond Cutter have got more in common.
Yeah, it's just like you've got a flatline cutter, you've got a diamond cutter, you've got an RKO. You had Leon Ruff's cutter off the third rope. You had Theory's ATL, which was literally a fireman's carry into a cutter.
Yeah, but it's just that's how it is. People just name their finishers different things, even though they all have different origins. I mean, Ciampa's double armed thing, fairy tale ending.
Yeah,
that's the Angel's Wings. It has a different name because it's Christopher Daniels' move.
Yeah. Mandy Rose does the same thing.
Yeah, Christopher Daniels has been doing that move since the mid-90s.
Nice.
So I think slightly predates them.
So after this, we had the. It was a great match, and Kaylee Ray won, by the way.
Yeah.
But after this, we had the Indy Hartwell Bachelorette Party segment, which was funny and bizarre, to be honest, and that about wraps up the description of it, to be fair.
Not as bizarre and weird as the Grooms one, but yeah.
Then we had Carmelo Hayes versus Santos Escobar. I mean, I was looking forward to this match. I mean, I expected a high-flying match with a good mat game and some great parts, which is what we kind of got.
But
some interference by Elektra got the win for Santos Escobar. And
again, it's not that surprising, though, considering bad guy.
Yeah, it's not surprising, but like, why Elektra? Why not have one of the other two do it?
Because they're trying to establish her, would be my guess.
I suppose.
But no, you do have a point. It would make more sense if it was one of the guys that did it. But at the same time, it shows you that the girl can do the same thing the guys can do, which I'm a fan of that too, because for the most part, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Next week was announced that we will have a fatal 4-way number one contendership match for the NXT Championship, which will probably turn into a fatal four-way for the
belt. Yeah, because this is why I touched upon Samoa Joe earlier because of this was going to happen.
Which is between Pete Dunne, Ciampa, O'Reilly, and LA Knight.
Love to know what the Knight's done to earn a spot in this match, but there you go.
Sorry?
Like to know what the Knight has done to earn a spot in this match.
I don't know. Beat up Ted DiBiase?
I understand why the other three are in this match, but I don't know why the Knight's in there.
No, I mean, he lost his last match against Cameron Grimes.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You can't even put Gargano in because Gargano lost his last match as well. So, I mean, you could possibly put in. You could have put in the guy who won the tournament, the breakout tournament.
Yeah, you could have put in Strong as well.
Yeah, there you go. There's another one.
He's been Kushida for ages. Yeah. Kushida's still not cleared.
Doesn't have to win, but you could put him in it. It'd be fine.
Yeah. If they turn this into a battle royale, then it would be interesting as well. Start off the new brand with a battle royale, a fresh champion.
Well, maybe they want to. It depends if they want to taste the rainbow, huh? And be diverse and inclusive and be all happy and gay.
Yeah. After that announcement, though, we got Creed Brothers versus question mark because I did not.
Viola and Averell.
Violin and Aviola.
Viola and Averell.
Violin and Avioli. Yeah.
Viola. It's a different thing. And Averelli.
Viola and Aioli. Okay.
Yeah, because I know what you're like with names for people like this, so I make a point of finding out what they are.
I mean, they didn't mention who they were on the announce team. The commentators probably couldn't fucking say their names. They probably just looked at the spelling and thought, yeah, no.
Yeah, I'll point out, by the way, that violin and viola are two different instruments for people who are not aware of that.
There's a string difference.
There's also a size difference as well.
About an inch, maybe a quarter of an inch, but yeah.
Yeah. As a musician guy, you know that, hopefully.
I've held both, so yeah.
Yeah. Haven't played them, but you've held them.
I'm not a quartetist.
Yeah, you're not a fan of a quick fiddle, no?
Depends what game I'm playing. So absolute domination, kind of like my fiddle playing. Both men were like young Lesnar's, to be honest, in the ring. I got Lesnar vibes off of them, big time.
Yeah, for those of you unaware, the Creed brothers are part of the Diamond Mine.
Yeah, absolute savages. They tore the competition apart in the ring, to be honest.
So, yeah. Quick fiddling, you'll go blind. That hand gesture did not help your case, by the way.
That's why Kaylee wears glasses. But so
was it because it's like a shield? You mean?
Too much fiddling. So after this, we had the Ember segment, and apparently Ember needs to wake up.
Okay.
So I don't know what's going to happen when she wakes up. Is she going to find her tag team partner? Because last time I saw her, she was on SmackDown.
She's going to taste the rainbow.
I'm trying to keep a straight face, but I'm biased, so it's impossible. So We had a hit row segment, which was boring.
Yep.
We had Casey Catanzaro and Carter versus Io and Stark for the NXT Women's Tag Championships that are pointless. I mean, a good match, not the worst tag match this week, but not the best. There's still no one else to challenge Io and Stark now, unless you count Gigi and Jaden perhaps, but they're still fresh. What's going to happen here? Don't know. Don't really care.
Pointless title was a pointless match, unfortunately, despite the fact all four of them are quite talented wrestlers.
Yeah. After the match, though, we did see Mandy Rose, Gigi Dolan, and Jaden jump Casey Catanzaro and Carter.
Yeah.
And Mandy Rose was sporting a Sheamus mask, with which was a little bit more glammed up.
Uh-huh.
But, wow, okay, they're going down that route with Mandy now. She went all the way back to NXT to find a mask. Nice.
Well, maybe she was looking for retribution.
I don't know. I guess we'll never find out.
Or maybe she's had a quick fiddle and that's all she could find.
Yeah, I'm sure she asks Yim or something. Like, Yim's around for a bit.
Yeah.
Then we had a Kyle O'Reilly segment about the past year and his future goals for the brands. Till, like for the brand's title, he said. I was just like, okay, you're going into a contenders match. There's no way you're going to be fighting for the title until you've won the contenders match. He seemed to be kind of looking past it, but now that Joe's relinquished the title, it's like, okay, maybe he predicted this, saw this coming before we did.
It could also be a case of some people like to call their shots.
Yeah, I mean, I like confidence as much as the next guy, but the way that Kyle's been fighting lately and fighting stupidly, as we've said in the past,
Yeah, well, to be fair, he also doesn't have to fight Adam Cole anymore.
I mean, if he does win this, then I reckon he's gonna be like a 1 week reign, a 1 night reign, something stupid like that. It's gonna be a Gargano run, is what it is.
What do you think he would like slip and trip on the rainbow and lose the belt?
Just slip and trip on a wheel and spin a rough one. So after this segment, we had Loomis's bachelor party,
which you referenced this last week because obviously you saw the photos on social media.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Grimes made this whole thing funny, to be honest, and the segment was worth it.
Yeah, that's literally what he's there for. Is for what happened here.
Yeah, I mean, he made up for the fact that Loomis couldn't talk because obviously Loomis's character doesn't talk. So Grimes just made everything like cool, and then obviously Johnny did his thing too. Even the zombie ref being there was a nice little touch, like a show to like some of Loomis's previous matches, like Halloween Havoc and stuff.
Yeah.
It wasn't
and who was that match against at Halloween Havoc?
Cameron Grimes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, after that all happened, and yeah, it was probably the funniest segment of the night.
Oh, I'd probably say very easily.
We had Tion Shah's debut.
Yeah.
Pure dominance.
Yeah.
As
big shock.
Expected.
Yeah, big shock.
Yeah, not much else to say about it, really. I don't even know, not even sure who the poor woman's name was who fought
Virginia Ferry.
Virginia Ferry.
Uh-huh.
She needed the luck of the fucking fairies against that. So she might want to change her name afterwards. Like, Jesus.
Away with the fairies.
Yeah.
Although if she's still there around next week, then she can be a natural. No, actually, I'm not making that joke.
I'm free.
So LA Knight's segment was boring. Ciampa's segment was good and tough and badass, like Ciampa is.
Ciampa knows how to do promo, so this isn't hard for Ciampa.
I mean, we'd all like to see Ciampa with the belt again, just maybe one more time since his comeback from his surgery. I mean, he's great with Thatcher, but with Thatcher being on the shelf, it leaves him open for it. And if it does come down to it and Thatcher returns, we could have a fight between Ciampa and Thatcher for the title, which I wouldn't be opposed to because of their fight pit fights.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be a good way to bring the fight pit back for a few times as well.
Possibly, but apparently it wasn't very popular with the audience. So
it's all about the ratings.
I noticed how Bruce is very quiet and very absent. I'm assuming he's being strangled.
You say that, and he's just ran out into the back gardens, now growling and running in circles and jumping up the fence.
Bruce!
Somebody gave him Skittles.
Bruce!
Okay, fess up. How many Skittles did you give him?
29.
I have no Skittles.
Well, apparently 29, according to the mysterious voice from your end.
I have no Skittles. She doesn't either.
Don't I?
Well, no, she gave them all to Bruce.
You bought Skittles?
I bought me. No, I didn't. I bought Maltesers.
You bought Maltesers. Ugh. Nasty.
No, they're not.
Well, at least you know they're safe then, because he ain't going to touch them.
Didn't even buy Galaxy, Peter. She walked past Galaxy.
Hey, if Maltese is what she likes, then good for her, because it means I get more Galaxy, so I'm cool with that.
No. Galaxy Caramel is my go-to.
Peter's Galaxy go-to is original Galaxy.
Yeah, as long as you don't touch my Galaxy, I don't mind.
Well, as long as I get to keep Galaxy Caramel and Cookie Crumble.
You can cook. Oh, you can keep Cookie Crumble. I don't like it, so by all means, help yourself to that. And I prefer the normal plain Galaxy bars.
It's too sweet for me now.
Yeah, she can have the caramel and the cookie ones because I prefer the normal one. So that's cool. That works.
Fine, as long as I get the smooth orange to myself, I'm happy.
Cool. Done. All right.
Sweet.
I
Moving on.
like it too. I love it.
Well, I don't like the caramel. It's too sickly, and the cookie one just drives me up the wall because of texture. And yeah, autism, texture, not great.
Yeah, I kind of figured that.
So, yeah, we had champion segment, good, tough. Index wedding is next week. Lorcan and Birch versus MXK for the main event. Great match, but MSK retained. Then Dunn and Holland turned on Lorcan and Birch. As soon as MSK won, I kind of knew that this was going to happen, but it still kind of surprised me.
I can honestly say this was dumb.
It was dumb.
I don't understand. Yeah, there was no motivation for this. I mean,
it was shit booking. Like, that's what made it so obvious that it was going to happen.
Should get used to it because next week's will be the same.
If it wasn't going to happen, then Pete and Holland would have jumped straight on MSK.
Yeah.
But they didn't. They just got into the ring and looked at Lorcan and Birch, and he was just like, oh, okay, well, that's that team over with then.
Well, Dunn and Ridge could have just easily jumped MSK, then two other people can come out help MSK, then you set up a War Games match. Da-da, easy, done, booked.
But no. I've heard that War Games isn't going to be happening anymore in the 2.0 NXT, which is a shame, really.
We'll see. But on the plus side, if it's not, we still get blood and guts, so you know, which is a better match anyway. To be perfectly blunt, so
I've never seen one, so I'll look forward to that at some point.
essentially it's war games, but more like how it was originally. There's like a roof on the cage and all the fun stuff, and there's actual like proper blood.
Nice.
So yeah. Also the blood and guts cage is bigger.
Stay.
So there you go. But yeah, that tag match was the last thing on NXT. So
6.
yeah, I'll be curious to see what you give for NXT UK because that's what's next. You know why I'm saying this, don't you?
Yeah, we had Sam Gradwell versus Wolfgang.
Heritage Cup, for those of you unaware.
Yeah, contenders match. So it was a British rounds match as well.
Uh-huh.
Round 1, no fall. Round 2, no fall. Round 3, Gradwell actually got the first fall.
Yeah.
I was kind of shocked. He did actually dislocate Wolfgang's shoulder, and Kofi pulled it back in for him in just before round 4 started. Luckily,
yeah.
And with that, Wolfgang got the 4th fall, which was a good clean fall. And then round 5, Wolfgang got the winning fall. Wolfgang now advances to the semi-finals. No complaints, really.
Yeah, I actually kind of liked this match, to be honest.
Yeah, it was a good rounds match, and it was a nice change for the rounds match to like actually start off the show instead of it always being the last thing on the card.
Yeah, they gave us something different, and I'm a fan of different.
It gave us a nice dynamic to start off the show.
Yeah.
Then we had Davenport Reflection by Sid Scala, and then he announced her suspension indefinitely for, I think he said, so basically 2 weeks. We'll see her in 3 weeks, maybe.
Yeah, probably. Depends on what sort of cycles they're working on.
Yeah. Then we had a promo like package segment for Kenny Williams versus Noam Dar for next week, which was actually quite good. I liked it. It was graphic and detailed. It went into both people and what they're like and how they've known each other over the years. It was a good detailed package. Well like placed as well.
It did what you'd want it to do. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we had Smith, Carter, and Huxley versus Symbiosis.
Yes, we had a 6-man match, which again, something different.
Yeah, I mean, a good match. A bit of an unorthodox tag team trio.
Again, that took on Symbiosis, yeah.
Yeah.
But what makes it even weirder, of course, is who won.
Yeah, it was a great win for him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Carter, Huxley, and Smith got the victory. And I actually like Saxon Huxley, for like people who may not have seen the show before. I call him Haywire Huxley because he's just a little bit loopy. But,
yes.
Yeah, he seems to be on a roll at the moment, so it'd be interesting to see where this goes.
They may be trying to build him up on the sly, so try and doing it under the radar, maybe.
Yeah. And
because it does happen occasionally. They do try and sneak people into situations by trying to build them up.
Yeah. So up until this point, the end of this match, all things considered, I had the show at a 6 out of 10. I was happy with where it was going.
Yeah, I kind of can guess what happened now. I'm guessing that then it drove off a cliff.
Yeah, we had the rewatch of TakeOver 36 with extra commentary
by Dragunov,
Sheamus, McIntyre, Finn Balor, and for some bizarre fucking reason, Tony Storm. I guess Becky Lynch wasn't available.
I'm guessing Tony Storm because she was NXT UK.
Yeah, but I was thinking more along the lines of main roster names that are from the UK. So
Yeah, but that I'm assuming that's my guess is why it was her.
I mean, she wasn't even the inaugural UK championship. Rhea Ripley was.
No,
but
she
Rhea
was.
commentator on it as well.
Yeah, she was. Storm was the one who took it from her, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. So.
Oh, you little shitbag.
Aaron, you're being talked to.
This was like. This was shit. Like I loved the takeover match, but I didn't want to watch it again with more commentary.
Yeah, it made no sense. I mean, if you do want to look back on this, cut a highlight package with people talking over it, have it be like 10 minutes or something.
Yeah, watch the match again. Don't have like a fucking full blown 30-minute match with twice the amount of commentary, because they still had the original commentary over it. If they'd have taken the original commentary over and had like Nigel McGuinness and the guys that do the NXT UK commentating it, then I'd have been interesting, because I'd have liked them to do like a bit of a section over it, see how they would have commentated it.
Yeah, something different. Yeah.
Not have the same commentating and then just have wrestlers commenting on split moments in the actual show. It just didn't make sense.
Yeah, you might as well just throw it in picture in picture.
Yeah. So I gave NXT UK a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Because like it gets a point because of the match.
Well, yeah, it's a good match, but
it's a good match. But
yeah, but
where was the other 3 points? Well, you lost them because of the fucking.
The fact you felt the need to replay an entire match without adding anything to it.
Yeah, there was nothing in it for us as the viewer, or us as like people.
Put it this way, those wrestlers giving their opinion all sat there fiddling.
Yeah. I've watched people fiddle. I've watched people fiddle and then talk about wrestling before, and I've had more fun listening to crackpots do it than I've seen.
Yeah, it's nothing. You should see Aaron fiddle when he watches certain NXT Takeover pay-per-views.
I have.
He watches them with me. So, what do you think? What do you think the pre-show's for?
Isn't that what the Finn Balor matches are for?
Oh my god, Finn Balor.
No, that's what they used to be for.
Can I be dissing Finn Balor?
I wasn't dissing Finn Balor.
I was gonna say.
No, he's on a different show now, so that's why.
I will slap you, sir.
We actually are going to talk about Finn Balor because he comes up at the end of the last show we're going to talk about.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
The version of him does.
Yeah. It's the Fiend Balor.
I was waiting for that.
I'm just getting out of the way now because, yeah, everyone's expecting it.
Hashtag budget fiend.
Certainly still smuggling badges though.
They could afford the extra 3 letters, the I, the N, and the D, from Demon Finn to Demon Fiend. Instead, let's take the letters due to budget cuts.
Yeah, well, speaking of the reason why we got the budget cuts, SmackDown started, of course, with Brock Lesnar.
Oh, I thought we was going to talk about the nice 9/11 segment that kicked off the show.
Oh, no. We're going to get to that because I have something to say about that. Because I want to start with the Lesnar Bloodline stuff, and then we're going to talk about that because I have a reason for that.
I mean, yeah, first time in 2 years, SmackDown was in Madison Square Gardens. Roman and the Usos and Heyman kick off the show. Roman generally seemed happy for some fucking reason.
Drugs,
He
fiddling.
was getting acknowledged, and then Lesnar's music hit and his jaw hit the fucking floor.
And Heyman was fiddling.
Yes, with the title. What made me laugh was the Usos got in the way of Lesnar when he tried to go face to face with Roman. It was kind of like you want to die? You want to be dead?
That is a bit weird. They might as well just get a DUI.
Been there, done that. Got the T-shirt. They take it in turns.
Yeah, but one of them's much more prolific.
I'm sure it's not the other brother using his brother's ID.
Well, you never know. They could both be a couple of fiddlers. I've got no idea.
Yikes. So, things just seemed awkward, to be honest. And then Brock got Heyman up for an F5, which was the highlight of the night for me. I was just like, oh my God, I called this. And then Roman saved him. And I was like, fuck. Fuck you, Roman. Suck a dick. I wanted to see Heyman get F5 so fucking badly.
It's the wrong brand. You thought that's NXT, that stuff's going to happen.
Oh.
This is what happens on every podcast.
Yeah.
Send me the link. I'm gonna watch. Shut up. Don't tell me no.
I mean, Lesnar issued a challenge to Heyman, gave him 5 seconds to answer, didn't tell him what the challenge was. So, for all we know, if Heyman would have said yes, we would have had like a wrestling match in a big bowl of lube between Roman and Lesnar, like something off of that new ITV show that is on.
Or
TV.
next week's NXT relaunch.
Yeah. Or pig wrestling, like in Las Vegas, in a big bath of mud,
Or Arkansas, or any of those southern American states where they do weird stuff.
Yeah.
To be fair, there are weird parts of England that do weird shit too, so, you know.
Yeah. And the challenge wasn't answered, and apparently wouldn't be answered for a while.
You did miss something. Lesnar asked Heyman, why didn't you tell Roman I was coming to SummerSlam?
Yeah.
And Heyman didn't have an answer for that.
No, he just looked like somebody had just shit his pants.
Yeah.
For him. He had that face like, ooh, where's the bathroom?
It's the face people pull when they found out that they've been caught cheating.
Yeah.
Or fiddling.
Yeah.
Or both.
So somebody found a receipt in your wallet for their birthday present.
Yeah.
That kind of one, yeah.
That was oddly Pacific.
Yeah, it's someone's birthday in a couple of days, and she wants hints as to what her birthday presents are.
Wait,
I thought it was Bruce's birthday today.
you
No,
just gave me a
it's
hint.
Kaylee's birthday in 2 days.
By the way,
Oh.
can I not have one present tonight?
You want one present tonight?
Yeah.
You'll have to wait till he's off the podcast because you can't put that on YouTube.
No. He's got a point.
So yeah, that was it for the bloodline stuff. Now we'll get onto the 9/11 stuff because there's a point to this as to why I put this here.
Yeah, I mean, the opening segment to the show was probably like the best opening segment of SmackDown they've had this year so far.
Right. Okay. Are you aware of what else happened? What should have happened in this show in relation to this?
No.
There was a match that was dropped from SmackDown. Okay. You may notice if you looked over the SmackDown card, ladies and gentlemen, there was no women's matches.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. There was meant to be a women's tag team match.
Right.
It got dropped. Probably doesn't sound so bad until I explain it. But basically, you had Carmella, Zelina Vega against Toni Storm and another female wrestler. I can't remember who it was meant to be. The reason why this is an issue is this is the day before 9/11. You've got a 9/11 tribute video, and Selena Vega's dad died in 9/11.
Yeah, I knew about that.
So surely you feature the person who's got a 9/11 story to talk about and to highlight and to promote, and
Which she did on 9/11 day.
which is one of the reasons you got all those tweets from her, is because her match got dropped from the show.
Yeah. She was on the press conference the day after.
Well done, WWE. Well done, you fucking cunts.
No, don't steal my friend. Come here. Bruce, don't do it. Do you want to treat Bruce?
Aaron, stop trying to give Bruce a bone. You can't show that on the internet. It's wrong.
I got the birthday boy.
Stop trying to give him a bone. It's YouTube. They won't like it.
She threw that at me earlier while I was streaming and it hit me square in the balls.
That's because you was fiddling, wasn't it?
No, I was playing Fortnite. It's a fiddling of a different kind.
Yeah, you was fiddling in the wrong way. That's why you got hit. That's what it sounds like.
Sounds about right.
Because there's fiddling and there's fiddling.
I was working.
I'm sure you were.
I was watching
But-
Hannah Montana, so don't worry, I'm not dissing.
She was watching Hannah Montana and she's halfway to 50 in 2 days.
Yeah?
Well, Hannah Montana is halfway to 50 in 2 days.
No, Kaylee's halfway to 50 in 2 days.
Oh, okay. And?
Our childhood.
She was reliving her childhood before she turns halfway to 50.
I will say this, to be fair. Hannah Montana was never my thing, obviously. But here's the thing.
Really?
Yeah, surprising, isn't it? Right. She's watching something which doesn't hurt anyone that she does it, so nobody should care. But yet people will, because it's the world and the internet and people are really stupid.
I still watch High School Musical, I don't care. I will tell that to the world.
Just about every girl I know watches High School Musical, so you're not alone on that one.
Hannah Montana, High School Musical, they're dope.
Hello, Bruce.
Traitor.
Would you expect Aaron's giving him a bone?
I'll give it a lots of points.
No wonder he won't leave her alone.
You poor thing.
Wow, you're going to get hit later.
I'm gonna get it now.
It's like I don't always get hit anyway.
Yeah, but there's being hit and there's being hit in the way you like it.
Kinky. Anyway. So
welcome to the Kinky Podcast.
I thought that was Hook Up with Steph.
No, that's the Knitting Podcast, and that's
Oh, no,
my
that's
niece, so that's a bit wrong.
Sorry, the name gave me a different kind of like thought train. Anyway, so
Yeah.
the 10-man tag match that happened after this, the whole Lesnar segment, and 9/11
Yeah,
and everything. You're trying to keep a straight face, aren't you?
That's it. Try and skip over it. Yeah, go on. I want to see how you transition out of that. Go on.
I don't know what the point of Trey Young was. Literally, what was the point? I mean, are you aware of something happening with Trey Young, like in the future, or did he just turn up at the building and did he get like lost and think that it was a basketball match that night and thought, yeah, I've got a basketball tonight, and then realized, oh shit, this isn't the team.
There are discussions, from what I understand, between him and WWE. I don't know more than that, though. So there's a possibility something's going to happen. If you do that with your girlfriend, I'm not surprised she's pissed at you.
Don't you think she doesn't enjoy it?
Be careful what you say, dear.
That's not how you're supposed to give a girl a bone.
Wait,
I'm not saying anything. So, yeah, I don't know what the point of Trae Young was, and then Big E got the win. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it was a great 10-man tag match. It had all the highlights and good moves, good tag team synchronicity, I guess you could say.
It did what it was meant to do. That's the best way to put it.
All of these people have been in the run for the IC title, except for Otis and Boogs. Boogs and
okay.
Ziggler and Rude. But yeah, the stupidest part about this was that you had the Intercontinental Champion in this match when he could have had his own segment and possibly an open challenge if he really wanted to, like to make the Intercontinental Championship relevant.
Booking!
Yeah.
Right.
So, like, yeah, good job.
Yeah.
Nakamura's backseat Nakamura again, and he doesn't even need Sammy this time. He's got Boogs instead. So
Yeah.
next we had the Belair and Becky Lynch contract signing.
Where Becky proves she cannot manipulate the crowd into actually booing her and hating her. And this is where Aaron proves that Bruce will always go over because Aaron can't control Bruce.
I can.
Control Aaron or control Bruce?
Control him.
I know it's how she didn't answer the question.
Sorry.
She said I can. I was like, what, control Aaron or control Bruce? And she didn't answer.
Both.
Control him.
You don't think I can't control you?
No.
Okay, darling.
You can't even get me to let you cook. I helped.
Oh, you put some chips in the air fryer.
I cooked the chips. I made the burgers. You put sauce in yours.
I cooked the burgers.
Hang on, you killed the cow.
I put the oven on so they finish in the oven. Otherwise, they would have been bloody in the middle.
So,
Hang on, you killed the cow.
yeah.
Well, you said you made the burgers. I mean, you killed the cow.
She's not gone to Blackpool. She was dinner.
Okay, Sweeney, whatever you say.
Oh, Johnny Depp.
You got burgers for months though. Do you want some burgers? Yeah, the chest freezer's full. Anyway,
you don't live on Fleet Street, mate. Calm down.
No, this seems more Mayfair than anything.
Elm Street.
I'm talking rent-wise.
I was thinking Nightmare, but okay.
Nah, Old Kent Road.
I see. So run down and dilapidated.
Basically.
Yeah.
Becky trying to go deep hill did not work.
No, because she can't make the crowd boo her, and this is a problem.
I feel as though, I don't know if you noticed according that I watched, but there was booing for Becky.
Because she was trying to be a heel. That's literally what it was.
I have a funny feeling that they swapped the audio out for pre-recorded crowd audio.
Oh, they sweetened it. Yeah, absolutely.
And they did it well, but again, this is something that they did in the Thunderdome, and they're using it too much now. It's beginning to get really annoying.
The thing is, you say they did it well. The problem with anytime you sweeten noise like that is all you got to do is look at the crowd, and you can just always tell by that whether they're actually doing it or not.
Yeah.
And they clearly weren't. Yeah, but so basically Becky tried to be heel, and it didn't really work for her. So there was a contract signing basically.
Yep.
So she'll face Bianca Belair at Extreme Rules, blah 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 blah.
Yep. So next we had Edge versus Rollins 2.
Why?
I'll tell you something. It was a great match
Yes, it was.
because it wasn't exactly the same as the WrestleMania match.
I'd argue this was actually better.
Yeah. I mean, but it had the same kind of momentum with a different result.
I would argue this match probably should have been the one that actually happened at Mania, and the Mania match should have happened on this show.
Yeah. But what really made me laugh is after this match ended, you had a bloody insurance advert from Progressive. So you had Edge carried off on a stretcher because of his neck, which I'm not laughing about. It's not that part that I found funny. It's the part where WWE decided to have a fucking Progressive advert for bundles and personal insurance straight afterwards.
I would say, to be fair, WWE aren't the ones who sell the adverts. It's Fox, but it is funny.
Did
funny.
Give Fox a little like nudge and a £50? Can you please like slip in an insurance advert here, please?
No, it's complete coincidence. WWE have no control over who gets what adverts. Fox sell the adverts.
It just hit me right in the fucking chuckles. I've got a dark sense of humour, so I was laughing my ass off.
Oh no, it's hilariously funny and it's great timing, but it's completely coincidental that they clearly have no idea.
No. I hope Vince didn't see it.
Well, Vince doesn't watch the product. Jesus. Damn it, pal. He's got better things to do. Like Rainbow Skittle NXT. Also, he's busy fiddling.
So, yeah. I mean...
Damn it, pal. I'm busy fiddling.
Seth's interview afterwards, when the show was back on air, was good. It was like he wasn't completely all there. He didn't really understand what he'd just done. He was kind of in shock himself, and like it worked character-wise.
Yeah, it's also the fact of he just took one look at Becky and went, "Oh, I can't do that," so he has to be a bit of a douche.
Yeah.
So it's a shame when your other half is more over than you are, and as a result, you have to be a bit of a dick.
Yeah. Speaking of dicks, we had a Roman segment next. He wished the Usos good luck, and they left for their match against the Street Profits. And then Roman turned round and asked Paul why he didn't tell him Lesnar was at SummerSlam. And we didn't get an answer because it went to the ring and the Street Profits music hit. Then the Usos came out, and then we had a tag team match.
And we find out why Roman wished them good luck, because Roman knew they'd be fine. Because once we got to a point where somebody could have won the match,
Roman emerged to cause a distraction / cost the Street Profits
by guillotine choking Montez Ford.
Yeah. And
that leads us eventually to the bit that your other half is probably quite likes the idea of, because it's budgie smuggling time.
Yay!
I mean,
coming out wearing his fancy face paint and everything, because I'm guessing he went to Pride on Saturday too.
Why didn't you tell me? I would have been there.
probably. He got back to the US very quick though.
Yeah, he is well known for supporting the Pride community, so I wouldn't be surprised if he did go to something.
Yeah. But After the right, I have an issue with this tag team championship match. Before we go any further,
Go for it.
I get it. The Street Profits earned this match last week, so they was going to get this match.
No, they didn't. They said the Street Profits won a match, right? If you go back to last week, it was a no contest. Nobody won.
Yeah, this is what I was going to say.
Right, yeah.
And, like, so if they'd have won that match, this match would have been fine for this week. Like, no problem.
It would have made sense, right, yeah.
But actually, it wouldn't have been fine. Because this match shouldn't have happened this week. This match should have happened next week. This week, we should have had Nox and Shotzi versus Natalya and Tamina for the tag team championships, because it has been 4 weeks now since Shotzi and Nox's contendership match, the last contendership match they had, and won against Natalya and Tamina. And before that, they already beat them once again already.
But you know the best use for Nox and Shotzi being backstage and Arthur and Heyman a ride on their tank.
They're like the Stanley of the women's division. Only good for fucking cameos.
Do you think you can make a lot of money from cameos?
As far as Vince is concerned, anyway.
You can make a lot of money from cameos, depending on how famous you are.
But as you said, Montez Ford got choked out by Roman Reigns, which caused the DQ. We all saw red, and Demon Finn emerged.
Smuggling his budgies.
And went face to face with Roman.
Finn has grown out his beard a bit, though. It looks a bit bushy and caveman-like.
Yeah, I bet you like that.
Me? Nah, he's not my type. Let's ask the person. Let's ask the one who actually fancies him.
I've not seen him recently. I wish I could.
Trunks are too small.
Yeah, I don't think she's ever going to complain about that, oddly enough.
No.
In fact, she probably thinks they're too big.
Definitely.
I don't know. He gets called Big Finn in NXT, so
I'm Googling it now.
Yeah, there is actually an internet thing about Finn's package. Let's just put it that way.
It has its own merch.
Wait, what?
It's widely known that Finn has a big one because basically you can see it through his wrestling trunks.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah, it's a whole internet thing. People, there's a thing online about it.
Yeah, Finn's biggin. Should have its own website at the size of it.
That's the true demon. It's not the face paint.
There's a snake in my boot.
Is that it now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
she likey.
Nice.
It's the demon Finny. So
He does something.
Apparently
Prince Devitt, if you will.
Yeah.
Or generally the one where you can ruin anyone's appreciation of fancying Finn Balor is when you actually tell them his actual name.
I'm just like, it's my party and I'll cry if I want to, cry if I want to.
What a name.
Have you seen what his name is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's still sexy though.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, it's not for me to say who people should find sexy or not. That's not my place. But I just think the name, it must be off-putting for some people.
Virgil. Very nice.
Virgil.
He sounds like he belongs on Father Ted.
Sounds like he's sounds like he belongs on the side of a mushroom store.
I thought he was going to say sounds like a foot disease.
It sounds like he belongs in the night garden. There you go. So yeah, SmackDown
Yeah.
was a fun one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I mean,
I didn't know that we was getting Finn the Demon until last week when you said about it, and I looked into it a bit more, and I was like, oh, okay, we are. That's great.
there was far too many hints that were dropped for it not to happen because we kind of. Plus, they like selling stuff because you know there were slight differences to how he looked, which means action figures, new merch.
And the fact that Extreme Rules is like a Halloweenish pay per view.
Yeah, all I'd point out though is bear in mind the last sort of Halloweeny supernatural sort of figure who appeared at Extreme Rules kind of got ruined at that event.
Very Wyatt.
Your friend, I mean, for the Fiend.
Also,
the Fiend Finn Balor.
Also, another thing that's popped up this week in WWE, being as we've finished talking.
I thought we was talking about. Hang on, we was just talking about Finn. What do you mean, just popped up?
I said popped up, not popped in.
Oh, okay.
Someone else's WWE contract is ending soon, and they've said that they will be leaving WWE.
There's quite a few contracts that are close to being up. So,
but this is a major one.
I know it's Vince McMahon. I know.
If only. But Kevin Owens is
it's up in January.
Is said to be leaving in January. So. His contract's ending and he's leaving.
Yeah, so, well, here's the thing. Yeah, just think that if it had been Finn and Finn was leaving, the question would be who'd get the rights over the budgies.
That'd be quite the divorce settlement.
That's a big one too.
But another thing that quite a few people know, Kevin Owens is actually good friends with Chris Jericho outside of WWE, and he's also friends with the Big Show, I believe. I can't remember. I think it was Paul White.
I can give you a special bonusy one, which you clearly don't know. Back in Ring of Honor, he was in a faction with the Young Bucks, Adam Cole.
Yeah, I just said Kenny Omega's probably on that list too.
He's not.
And so yeah, that's a big name leaving in January and probably heading to a different brand.
Kevin Steen.
Yeah. So another way that WWE have fucked up, because the way that they've been working with him lately, unless they throw a championship opportunity his way in the next 3 months, I can see him leaving.
You say that, but they're throwing 2 of them at Shotzi and Knox, and look what happened there.
Yeah, but they've always wanted to work for WWE. They've not had any aspiration to go elsewhere, even though they've had plenty of motivation this year of all years to do so.
No, my point being is that you've talked about title opportunities. They've had 2 championship contenders matches, and they still haven't got anywhere.
Well, yeah, there's that, but I'm talking about a general championship opportunity, because that's what in general like swings the boat when it comes to contracts and stuff in WWE these days, from what it seems like. I mean, it's probably the only reason that Goldberg's still wrestling.
No, it's money. That's why. And Goldberg's never really wrestled, but it's money for Goldberg.
Money and championships.
Same reason Lesnar's there, to be fair. And do I blame them for accepting huge amounts of money? God, no. But it's WWE's fault putting them on telly is what it actually is.
So
let's be honest. If we offered you the sort of contracts that they're on, would you turn them down? There you go. That's a sensible answer. Hell no.
No, but I'd give huge amounts to charities. I wouldn't keep it all.
Yeah, my point though is you wouldn't turn it down. That's my point. What you do with the money once you have it is up to you, but you wouldn't turn it down. That's the main point I'm making here.
I mean, I'd take care of my family, but the rest would all go to charity. I'd live with what I needed. I wouldn't like.
I'm
wouldn't
not.
do
I'm not
something
saying
like
anything. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you wouldn't turn it down if WWE turned around and offered you those contracts.
No.
Yeah, that's my point. What you do with the money after that is completely up to you. Although in your case, I suspect there'd be hair dye, bones for Bruce,
Yeah, but
bones for the other half because apparently she needs a bone.
in the
Finn,
same
possibly some Finn Balor life-size dolls with budgies.
in the same wavelength, it's literally asking somebody that. Asking somebody that is like asking somebody what would they do if they won the lottery.
No, it's not the same thing because there's a chance you could one day have been in that position to actually be offered a contract. Like the chances of winning the lottery are actually much higher.
No, but when you're asking me that, it's like asking me if I could win the lottery because there's no way that I'm ever going to wrestle for WWE.
Yeah, but what I asked you is if you were in that position, you wouldn't turn down that money. That's what I asked you.
Like you are going to be in that position, but if you was, theoretically.
Yeah. Obviously, for various reasons, you won't be, but
yeah.
Mainly because Bruce can beat you in a wrestling match.
I could beat him in a wrestling match.
That's enough about your sex life. We don't need to hear that on the show. Is it because he cosplays as Finn Balor and you just have to hold him down? Is that what it is?
It is. That is precisely the reason.
Cosplay as Finn Balor with this hair.
Well, it's green and he's Irish, so it does kind of make sense.
It's more like Heath Ledger right now, to be fair.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that. You'd be too well.
Daddy at Pride on Saturday.
Can you stop mentioning that?
Now, the problem with you comparing yourself to Heath Ledger like that is he'd be too well hung.
Yeah, true. Yeah, he does that to Mum at night time.
Excuse me.
He goes underneath the covers and he just curls up in a ball.
Oh, okay.
Being ready for bed.
Oh, you mean Bruce? Okay, cool.
Yeah, Bruce.
That's a relief. That's getting quite concerning then.
Yikes.
Speaking of things we should all be concerned about, obviously.
Yes, Samaritan's
Yes.
Month. Unfortunately, I'm no longer doing the sleeping rough portion of this month due to medical. Because my neurologist said that I was basically an idiot for sleeping in a tent outside on my own because I could have a seizure, nobody could hear me choking, and I'd be dead, basically.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, I managed 10 nights, and now, yeah, I've put the tent away, and I'm not sleeping outside anymore.
Yeah, you should only risk choking to death from an asphyxia choke.
Yeah, sure, why not?
So, you've given her permission now, so now you're in trouble, right?
I didn't need permission. No, I do need permission. Everybody needs permission.
Well, he gave you consent just then, and he did it, and he's done it on air. So.
You said it. I was agreeing with you.
You agreed.
Yeah, but you actually did agree to it. That's the problem.
Yeah, but I didn't specify to whom.
Oh.
Yeah, but you've agreed to literally everyone on the internet by saying it that way, though.
Don't say that. I'm gonna have some random weirdo come up to me and grab me by the throat.
Is it Pride Day? Is it Pride Saturday again?
No, thank God. I don't think I could afford another Saturday, not for a while.
I see.
I went to the after party and it was a lot of fun.
Was you at this party, or was he cruising?
He was cruising.
I see. Naughty boy.
No, I was with my gay friends.
He got a free drink.
I got a free drink, but I swapped a fake phone number for it.
Was the number 999?
No, it was 0121 do one.
Nice. The best one is just do a phone number and have it spell out the word 69.
Could have been worse. Like I could have given them the Samaritan's phone.
Yeah, because it's the charity for the month. I don't think that would have been the best idea.
Yeah, considering I was wearing my Karen with Colours merch as well.
Yeah, I know. I saw. This is what happens when you put yourself on social media when you're at an event like that.
It was a great event though, a lot of fun. Five was there. Some of the drag queens from RuPaul's Drag Race UK. And yeah, it was great fun.
Yeah, Aaron got fashion tips from them all, so he's going to try out some of the drag costumes.
I'm begging him to let me do his makeup.
That's a charity thing you can do. There you go.
Yes.
It's never gonna happen.
Yeah, raise enough funds and you can do drag, like a drag performance on your Twitch stream or something.
You want me to do a drag stream?
Oh, please.
I don't know what it's called, but sure. I think that'd be a fun thing to do for a charity.
Well, I've been thinking about doing the BU project next year, so maybe it would be interesting.
So
Apparently,
have I not made?
No, I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about doing like something for the BU project because it's Pride related.
it's also the fact that because I'm not his girlfriend, he doesn't actually have to listen to me.
See, the man speaks sense.
Yeah, it's like with most men. If you're the other half and you tell them something, they're not going to listen to you. But if somebody else tells it to them, then they will listen.
No, the fact that you've actually like put it into an event as well, and like maybe like it's a good idea. I take on all ideas when it comes to charity work. You know that.
Oh, I do. That's why I explain to you. That's why I explain it to you that way, because I know how to make it make sense to you.
If somebody was to turn around to me and say, "Oh yeah, I want to do your makeup," I'd just be like, "Nah, no thanks. No, I'm good. I'm
So
good."
legit, you let me do it for a charity event?
Yeah, if you want to.
Yes.
There you go. So
Thank you.
you're welcome.
But that'll be a year from now. So moving on.
I'm gonna make you
Yes.
yourself today.
But it will actually happen, obviously, on Aaron's Twitch when it does, which is there, of course. And
I've grown my hair back by then.
yeah, because you're losing your hair, aren't you?
Yeah,
Not to
next
distant
month.
future. We'll have to.
Completely bald. Cancer Research UK.
Yeah, quite right too. But of course, the other thing we're currently doing as well.
I'm also actually I'm
Right.
actually going to buy a rainbow afro, and I'm going to wear that on my stream, so that way people can still know it's me.
You want a treat?
Nice.
Yeah, like one of the big clean ones, like with the multiple colours through it.
Nice, very nice. So, and of course, we have this as well.
Yep, the limited edition merch available until January 2022.
Sit up.
Yeah, first week of January, people, is when this finishes, and it won't be back.
Nope.
Oh,
So that's how you guys can do stuff for that. So,
4. Up here.
cool.
Up here.
Right, so we do have Extreme Rules coming up at some point, so obviously we'll probably do a preview for that if you remember which day it's on.
2 weeks from Sunday, so not this week, not the week after. Well, it's not this week, it's the week after, I think, or possibly the week after that.
Yeah, because obviously we didn't do the SummerSlam one because they switched the bloody days.
Because Brock Lesnar didn't want to work Sundays.
Exactly.
That explains the budget cuts.
Which Aaron very eloquently pointed out to WWE when he mentioned it on their Instagram. So
Which got like 18 likes and counting.
and one of those was probably from Brock.
I think one of them was from a Bronson Reed fan, actually.
That wouldn't be surprising. So probably from Vince McMahon as well, going, that's some good shit.
Probably. Yeah, what Kaylee said.
What did she say? I didn't actually make it out.
He's a tosser.
What? Brock or Vince?
Vince.
He's a fiddler, is what he is.
Ooh. I don't want to be branded with him.
Yikes.
You don't want to be branded with him. I'm not sure he's into that.
I don't know. He's had a few kisses on his ass.
Oh, you mean the Kiss My Ass Club?
Yeah.
Well, maybe if she starts one of those, then yeah.
I mean, he's kissed a few asses in his time as well. I mean, think of Rikishi.
Well, no, the problem is if your other half starts a club like that, you'd have to be the first member.
No comment.
Oh, so it's already happened. Okay. Well, that's literally what you've just told us by saying no comment, by the way. So you kind of done that one to yourself.
Not denying nor confirming anything.
I did not confirm, and I did not deny it.
I thought you was going to do the Bill Clinton thing and go, I did not kiss that woman's ass.
More like JFK and Marilyn Manson.
Sorry, what?
Marilyn Monroe. Monroe. Jesus.
No, that's not even as Manson. It's much funnier now.
Fuck's sake.
JFK and Marilyn Manson.
That was a shot in the dark. Are you purposely aiming for my fucking?
That's how I was.
She wants to give you a bone. That was her being subtle about it.
I don't do subtle. It's not my middle name.
Well, that was the joke, because throwing a bone at somebody is not subtle.
Give me the bone. Bruce, got some treats. Got some treats. That was really my face.
Okay, well.
I thought she was going to say those are my Maltesers.
Oh, I forgot about them. Thanks.
You're welcome. Right, obviously we're still on the show right now, so we should probably at least finish the on-air stuff with people. So, yeah. Well, I hope you've all had fun and enjoyed, people, and we will see you next week.
Yep, for more 50-50 booking.
Yeah, and possibly some more bones.
If I'm here, there will be.